Hi all, this is a tutorial on Kaggle competition Titanic on predicting the survivals. In this tutorial, multiple classifications are tested and finally the best classification is selected. So let's begin. First of all, we have to import some libraries such as pandas, numpy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, and seaborn. I'll explain what are these libraries. Pandas is an open source BSD licensed library providing high performance, easy to use data structures and data analysis tools for Python programming language. NumPy is the fundamental package for scientific computing with Python. It contains a powerful n-dimensional array object, sophisticated functions, tools for integrating C, C++, and Fortran code, useful linear algebra, Fourier transform, and random number capabilities. Also, NumPy can also be used as efficient multidimensional container of generic data. Arbitrary data types can be defined. This allows NumPy to seamlessly and speedily integrate with wide variety of databases. Then scikit-learn. It has simple and efficient tools for data mining and data analysis. It's accessible to everybody and reusable in various contents. Built on NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib. It's open source, commercially usable, and BSD licensed. Matplotlib. Matplotlib is a Python 2D plotting library which produces publication quality figures in a variety of hard copy formats and interactive environments across platforms. Then Seaborn. Seaborn is a Python data visualization library based on Matplotlib. It provides a high-level interface for drawing attractive and informative statistical graphics. So after importing those libraries, we have to import the datasets. So first we are going to import the training dataset. Next we are going to import the test dataset from the Kaggle. After importing those datasets, we are going to combine both datasets into one. So after doing so, let's sort the passenger ID of the test dataset to make the submission file. So you can see as given in the code. Next we need the passenger ID as index of two datasets, so we should remove default index and make our index. Here is the dataset after doing so. And next we need to find and deal with null values of each column. So let's visualize the null values. As you can see in the training dataset, there are 177 null datasets in the age column, and in the test dataset there are 86 null values in the age column and 1 in fair and 327 in cabin. To deal with the missing values, we need to get to know about data types that we have in our data sets. So let's visualize the data types of our columns, actually the data. So the survived is in int and the plea class is in int and the name is in object and sex is in object. As you can see, other data types as well, similarly in the test data set also. So now we are going to clean the data. For visualize missing values, let's import missing and no library. So after doing so, you can see the visualization of the missing data. Next we are going to replace the missing values. For that we use scikit-learn, the imputer library. So what is actually imputer? Imputation is a transformer for completing missing values. So let's clean the age column. So you can see after cleaning the age column the data set. After doing so, we will just a second. we will clean the edge. We will create an array with the cleaned edge column. So here's the actual array of the cleaned edge column. So next we are going to replace the column. After replacing the column, as you can see, there is no null values in the edge column. It's 0. So the similar thing should be done for the test data set as well. So we have next we are going to embark column cleanup. So we have to get how many different values are in columns. So here are the values in these columns as S, C and Q. We are going to replace null values with most frequent value S. So this is how it is done. Next we have to fill the fair column as well. After doing that, now test data is prepared. When considering the cabin column has about 80% of null values, so we need to drop that cabin column. Now both data sets are null free, so we can use the data sets for prediction. So before that, we have to change sex column into integer, male as 1 and female as 0, so that it will be good enough in predicting and it would be easy to do the prediction as well. And the same thing has to be done to the test data set as well. So one of the most common thing and best thing to do is removing the outliers. So we have to detect the outliers. As you can see in the graph, there are some outliers. Now we are going to remove those outliers. So remove the outliers which has the fair above 400. Let's do it. And after doing so, you can see the columns as well. Next we are going to do the data analysis. So let's take the trained data set and we are going to group by the survived column to other relations of the trained data set. Similarly, sex column to other relations of the trained data set. So we found that 74% females and 18% males survived. Next we are going to visualize the correlation matrix to see each variable's relation with other. So next we will visualize the heat map of the correlation. Here is the heat map of the correlation. Next we will analyze sex and the survived. So what we understood is we can understand the survived and sex has a strong relationship. So here we understand in the above graph, the P class 1 has the most survived rate. Next we will visualize the age and the survived relationship. So here you can see in the graph. Next we are going to do the feature engineering. Let's take the trained data set. Next family feature. For that, let's create family size feature from Perch and SIB-SP. So after doing that, we are going to categorize the family size into 3 categories as alone, small and large. After doing so, we have to do the same thing to the test dataset as well. Next, the age feature. We have to categorize the age into categories such as infant, toddler, child, teenager, young adult, adult, middle age, and senior. So you can see after categorizing the values of these categories, and the same thing should be done for the test data as well. After doing so, we have to do the same thing to the fair feature as well. Fair is recorded for family, and we make persons fair by dividing fair by family size. So after doing that, the same thing should be done to the test data set as well. Next, categorize the fair of a person. We will categorize as very low, low, middle, high, and very high. So you can see the values after categorizing, and do the same thing for the test data set as well. Here is the values for the categories. Next, let's create dummy variables for trained data, and it should be done for the test data set as well. So we are going to drop the unwanted columns for better output. So same thing should be done for the test data set as well. For training, we have to separate features and do the prediction. So check accuracy of multiple algorithms to select the best. We will use multiple algorithms and check whether which algorithm gives the better prediction. So we are going to use these classifications such as k-neighbor classification, SVM, decision tree classifier, XGB classifier, random forest classifier, ADA boost classifier, gradient boosting classifier, Gaussian NB, linear discriminant analysis, quadratic discriminant analysis, and logistic regression. So here's how we're gonna do it. After doing so, we can get the accuracy against the classifier. So as you can see, the XGB classifier has the highest accuracy, so we are going to use XGB classifier. To do so, let's set up the classifier. After setting the classifier, let's fit the model and do the prediction for the survival. Next, we are going to display the scores. So as you can see, we have gained an accuracy of 0.801. So next, we are going to predict the submission file, which means the test data file. So after doing so, we are going to set up the CSV file for submission. So after doing the other things, you can download the CSV file as well. So that's it. Still there are tons of methods to do the same thing. I hope this was helpful and hope you will try other methods as well. You can find the source code in GitHub links given in the description section, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you.